All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Quadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessing to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect. Shalom Barakathum. And I just want to say a few words on this topic. I came across the video of the elder Yashawamba as a comment, and I believe this guy, I've interacted with him before as well. But I just wanted to speak a few words on standing stiffly for the Lord, okay? And in defense of the gospel, man. And ultimately, this is going to boil down to Israelites having a perverted, polluted mind state, ashamed of the wrong things, all right? Because a lot of people, this has been a hot topic of Israel, okay? Especially between the men of Great Millstone and other camps who have, taken issue out of feeling shame about something that's written in the scriptures, lacking understanding. You either lack understanding, the fundamentals, or you're doing it for clout, for glory, to get views, to get clicks, because certain positions will be popular. There are certain things you can say about women that will get you a lot of views, a lot of clicks. Okay, there's a certain thing you can say about the white man and get you a lot of views, a lot of clicks. Okay? And at this point, Jake, you've figured out these algorithms and what gets you the views. And getting views is not going to get your ass delivered, okay? We need to make that abundantly clear. Ultimately, the Lord is going to parse through the right and the wrong, who's wicked and who's righteous, all right? I bring this out quite a bit. Let me start off with it real quick. Jeremiah 17:10, all right? Because you can make up your own righteousness all you want, but the Lord in the heavens is watching everything, even thoughts and minds, as the elder Yashawamba mentioned, every idle word. Everything is being recorded, man. This is Jeremiah 17:10. I, the Lord Yahweh, search the heart. I try the reins. Okay, to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. Okay, so what are you actually doing? What are you actually thinking about? Okay, what kind of leaven is in you, and are you okay with it being there? Okay, because we're in a time now where even inaction will get your ass destroyed. Okay, which I'm gonna get that, but you guys are not just being inactive. You got to hop on there, and you got to scoff. Okay, with no works, no precepts. Okay. What was I looking for here in 2nd Ezra 16? Okay, verse 61. He made man and put his heart in the midst of the body and gave him breath, life, and understanding. And if you don't have the basic understanding of things, then you got no business getting on comment boards trying to correct people. And a lot of us, get ready, brothers, are gonna be testified against. People you thought you were cool with, or family members you thought wasn't really scoffing like that, but that squeeze is gonna get put on them, and they're gonna point the finger at you. Okay, the same thing Yahweh Shai had to go through. We're gonna have to go through the same thing. Okay, and we can see little flare-ups of it here, just like this, man, and other camps that have added on to it. Okay, it says, verse 62, yeah, and the spirit of the almighty power, which made all things and searcheth out all hidden things in the secrets of the earth. See, the Lord knows that we're not rolling up on people talking about you can do particular things with little girls. Okay, you don't think the Lord actually knows this? Huh? You'd have to be retarded, man, to think you're going to get one over on the Most High. You don't think the Lord know what you're doing? Huh? You think you can get away on a technicality? Well, technically, I never said that they did. Well, the Lord got everything recorded, man. Everything, even things you thought. You niggas are not slick, man. Okay? And there's blood on your hands for that. Okay? The Lord don't take these things lightly. Verse 63, it says, surely he knoweth your inventions, and what ye think in your hearts, even them that sin and would hide their sin. Okay? Didn't Eleazar get found out? Didn't Polite, who was talking all that shit, didn't he eventually get shamed publicly, embarrassed? Huh? The Lord put his ass in time out, man. And who knows what's happening to him in there. Okay? And he's still going to get a missile. And it says, verse 64, therefore hath the Lord Yahweh exactly searched out all your works, and he will put you all to shame. Okay? This is why it's important to be sincere. Don't just take your ass out there and memorizing precepts. Don't just be going through the motions doing these. Whatever is in you is going to come out, man. Especially when the Lord puts the squeeze on this place. These other camps, these random scoffers and mockers, they're all going to come crying back. Or they're going to try to. Okay? It says, what will ye do, and how will ye hide your sins before the Most High and his angels? Because you can't hide them from the Most High. Okay? That's the point. A lot of you, like Alazar, did the same thing. What did he have the whole time? A bunch of skeletons and dildos in his closet. The whole time. And the Lord had allowed the spirit of Satan to take over him, to scoff and talk shit the whole time. He had way more dirt on him the whole time. So it's all good. Okay? But you were warned again. Okay? We're doing our jobs and getting the blood off our hands. Okay? So all of you that want to come up here and imply things, that's the shit I hate. You implying niggas. Just say it, man. Just say what you think. Make the accusation. You know? I forget the precept is, but if you bear false witness on a man, whatever you thought to do to him is supposed to happen to you. Okay? And although a lot of you may not have come out and said it, you thought it, and you're implying it. So the Lord gonna hit you with that same judgment. Okay? Like this guy, Luca Bright, he's saying he did the research. You can see the comment, and you cannot prove that it was in their teenage years in ancient Israel. Nigga, name a bitch in high school graduating that ain't been popped. Or what age are they? You think they were just going around till they're 20 years old with no engagement? You don't think fathers knew this? You don't think they knew about sex drives and the flood of hormones that hit you at puberty? That's why the laws was set up, man. Okay? We didn't have an open dating culture where you can just hit it on with like her. No. When you break down the law and the scriptures, it is righteous. Ultimately, is righteous. You can get emotional about the things that sound bitter all you want. But when you look at the law and the totality of things, it is the way of life. Okay? And what you have to do is ask yourself is, well, how is it going here in America? Huh? Do you have any virgins leaving high school? Do you have any women that are getting married that can throw on a white dress with confidence and say that they're a virgin? Absolutely not. You see, they have no answer for it. They just want to pick from the shadows and throw stones, but they don't know the correct way to live. Okay. Just let every woman choose. How is that going? Letting women choose? You see, when you absolve them of every consequence, you give them birth control, you give them all of these different. Of course, they're gonna pick whatever they want and lay down, and STDs and all these things are gonna flourish. Okay. And this is why the Lord's gonna get rid of you, because you have no vision. You lack vision. That's from a movie somewhere, I can't remember. You know, but ultimately you have to be in the spirit of defending the gospel. Why? Because the world hates us, man, and the world hates Yahushua. Okay. And they have an inverse relationship. Whatever Esau is doing and is saying is okay, it's wicked. He told you monogamy was righteous. Okay? Which ain't nothing wrong with having one woman. But monogamy is an enforcement of one woman. Okay? Where you can only have one woman. That ain't in the scriptures. Okay? Let me see where it is. John 15:18, if the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. Okay, if you were of the world would love his own. But because you're not of the world, I have chosen you out of the world. Therefore, the world hated you. We're not to be doing whatever Esau is. Where do y'all get these ages? Y'all made these ages up. Talking about in the go to the law and tell me the ages of the 20 in the 20s you can deal with a woman. Okay, and don't go to Numbers talking about the military fighting age. Go to the law. Okay. We can go to the law and tell you that the tokens of virginity were a part of the custom. Okay, what does that symbolize? Okay, that the woman is of age. Okay, and when the father gives it over, it symbolizes that she is a virgin when I gave it to you. Okay, that's what that means. Okay, and a lot of you have just gotten weak, you gotten soft, and you're ashamed. Okay, I typed that word ashamed in here. Okay, because you don't understand how to live, a righteous life. You don't understand the law. You don't understand the ways of life, man. And ultimately, you guys that just refuse to get it, or you getting so emotional over things, you can't see the forest from the trees, as they say. Then you're going to be in that category of Romans 11. What did the Lord say in Romans 11? And 7, what then Israel hath not obtained which he seeketh for. Okay, you want to call something wrong, but you don't know it's right. Well, what is the age? Okay, what are you looking for? All right, it says, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. So if you can't get what's going on in Deuteronomy 22, you can't understand the ages of accountability. You can't understand that the Father was in charge. The Father decided who you married and when you got married. Period. If that's over your head, then the Lord most likely blinded you, man. Okay. And the Lord's not dealing with nobody that's got leaven in their spirit, that's on the fence. Okay. It says Luke 9:26, for whosoever shall be ashamed of me and my words, of him shall the Son of Man be ashamed. All right. And don't you know the Lord Yahweh Shai is the mediator? He's up there, mediating on our behalf for the elect, that we be delivered, that the Lord's wrath gets turned away from us. And you're up here ashamed of him. Okay, well, the Lord's going to be ashamed of you. And you know what the consequences of that is. It says, when he shall come in his own glory and in his Father's and of the holy angels. When the Lord gets back, he's coming on in his Father's glory. Okay, that means he's not going to be just a fleshly man walking around. You can just walk up and roll up on him. All right? He's going to be ashamed of you. Okay? And that's ultimately what this boils down to. It is not enough to sit on the fence with this place. That lukewarm spirit the Lord is not dealing with, man. Is that one word or two words? Revelation 3. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would that thou were cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of thy mouth. Now, why do I bring that up? Because you're trying to mingle the doctrines of the world with the scriptures. Okay, and they don't mix at all. Point blank. Period. You add a drop of anything else to the scriptures, it's polluted. Okay, and you're going to get spewed out. Okay, and a lot of you have that leaven in your spirit, man. Okay, you got these hard numbers in your head: 18 years old, 21 years old. These are things that you got to rebuke out of your mind. Okay, because they're institutionalized. They're taught to you that from a young age. But nothing this guy told us is what it seems on a surface level. Okay, everything has to be called into question. Everything has to be evaluated. Okay. Every day you wake up and there's some word you've been using a long time and you find out it's linked to something wicked. You're like, God damn. You know? And when you find these things out, you have to loathe these things, man. Okay? But ultimately just being shamefaced over things that are righteous. Okay, the Lord's gonna be ashamed of you, man. This is what's required to get on the kingdom, in the kingdom. Okay, I'm gonna get this. There's more I could get. I just, wanted to get this off my spirit. This is 2 Ezra 2:47. It says, "So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world." Okay, and we confess the Lord, man. That includes all of the breakdowns, the volume of the book, not parts of it. Not, oh, that's how we used to do it a long time ago, this blah, 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 blah. No, you got to get the understanding, okay? You should have never went out there trying to teach and you ain't eat the whole roll, okay? So we've confessed him, and it says, "Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord." Okay, so standing stiffly means what? You're going to be met with resistance. Okay, you're going to have to defend the gospel. Okay, they're going to bring us up on charges. They're going to make all kind of accusations on us. They want to demonize us, but that's all just a ploy. It's the same thing to Yahushua, man. Our Lord had to go through the same thing. Okay, and what did he say? How did he respond to this? Okay. It's in Matthew. In Matthew 27, they wanted to trip him up in his words, and it says, "And Yahushua stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, saying, Art thou king of the Jews?" Because he knows if Yahushua claimed himself to be king of the Jews, that would be considered treason. Okay, that means you were starting a rebellion, because there can only be one power. Okay, so that was capital punishment to claim that you were a king under Caesar. Okay, and so Yahushua just simply said, "Look, thou sayest." Okay, and then ultimately that's where we're going to be with you guys. Make all the accusations that you got to make. Okay. At the end of the day, when Esau really turns up, we're going to be the ones defended, not you guys. I was going to bring something else out, but I'm going to end it there. Lord willing, this is edifying. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rachak Shalom.